Arnie again because she's been membership coordinator for I don't even know how many years, but a long time. And she, I know, was looking for somebody to take it over, so I stepped up and said I would do it. So hopefully we're going to see some numbers here in a minute. There we go. So I guess the national events must fall into mine. So Craftsbury, we had 45 women attending. That's the ski weekend up in Vermont. They'll be doing that again this year. Cardigan Lodge weekend had 43 women, and the Gathering weekend, just a month or so ago, we had 75 women, which is the most we've had for a long time. We currently have 465 members in good standing. That's across all of our regions. And in good standing means that their membership is current. And this is as of early September when we did the report for the annual meeting. So it might be a little bit higher or lower right now, but we had to pick a date and do our report. So 465 members in good standing. We have probably some more that their membership is lapsed right now. They have been getting emails saying, it's lapsed, please renew. So they're still on our membership list, but we give them kind of a 60-day grace period to renew that. So we have members in 20 US states and 1 Canadian province. So there we go. So here's by regions. We have, I believe it's 7 regions, and then we have some members who are unaffiliated with the region, usually because of where they live geographically. So Connecticut makes up 7% of our membership with 31. Eastern Mass is nearly a quarter of our membership with 96 members. Finger Lakes, 63 members. Mid-Atlantic has 77 members. New Hampshire and Vermont, 25 members. Rhode Island and Southeastern Mass, 12 members. And Western Mass, by far our largest, 138 members, or almost 1/3 of our membership. And then we have 22 unaffiliated with regions. That's about 5% of our membership. So those are typically people that maybe joined when they lived in one of these regions, and now they've moved to Florida, Oregon, or someplace, but they maintain their membership. Or they just like some of the activities that we do, and they might live in Tennessee or, Georgia, where there is no region, but they want to know what's going on so that they could do, especially some of our national programs that we have. So those are the unaffiliated for the most part. So next slide, I think we break them down by states. Our top state, Massachusetts, by far almost 50%, almost half our membership lives in Massachusetts, as Eastern Mass and Western Mass combined, plus Southeastern Mass, of course. New York, 78 members. Maryland comes in third at 54 members. Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, Pennsylvania, and Virginia are tied. Now, some of these are in the same region. So like Mid-Atlantic is Virginia, Maryland, DC, and Pennsylvania. So you'd have to take all 4 of those states and put them together. Rhode Island is 7. In Maine, we have 4. And then we have 3 in DC, which are also part of the Mid-Atlantic region. We have 2 each in Arizona, Delaware, and Washington, and 1 each in those states: California, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, North Carolina, and 1 member up in Ontario, Canada, though I think she also has, or maybe she's moved to the United States now. So that is our membership report. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay. Margaret?
We're passing it over to Chris Mujica, our treasurer, for the treasurer's report. Chris might have been called away by her
No, sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. So the organization financially is remaining strong. Membership is staying relatively steady. And I have our current financial standing. We're showing net revenue for this year of about a little over $6,000. And our overnight events continue to be a success and are sustainable in that the membership attending support the expense, and the National Treasury is not having to subsidize. So that's good because that allows us to focus our remaining funds on, growing our leadership, and giving back to the members. So I guess that's really all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Thanks, Chris. It's a very, very positive report. Thank you. And truly appreciate all the work you do as treasurer. Very important job. And you just always do it with grace and very exact. So thank you. We appreciate it. We'll slide into the
I have a
gathering.
question about the treasurer report. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
This is Lynn Rappaport from Connecticut. I'm just curious, did you break even on the gathering? Did you make any money on that, or is that? is all
Looks like that report is coming up next.
Oh, sorry, there you go, my bad. I just must have anticipated it. Okay, sorry, everyone.
And we'll pass it to Sandy Zohari for the gathering report. Sandy
Okay.
and Donna.
Thank you, everyone. 75 attendees, and I am not surprised. It's a wonderful location. We have food, we have bathrooms, and it was a great success. Let's see. We made money again this year. We've been making money for the past 4 or 5 years, actually. Primarily because our expenses are well, we have fixed expenses, and when you try to break that down to an unknown number of attendees, we do the best we can. But so it's not bad to make some money. We had one scholarship recipient. Everybody received their annual gift from the gathering, which was a flashlight this year. We had a wonderful silent auction this year. We had some really, really high bid items and took in $783 for the scholarship fund, which is now over $2,000. And we're encouraging deserving members in need to apply for a scholarship next year. We've got the money, and we'd love to see you come to the gathering. So let's see, there were 40 activities and workshops were offered. Thank you to our coordinators, our workshop coordinators, Lisa Gould and Lisa Voss, and to all the leaders who donated their time and expertise. Jan Brown Award this year went to Becky Foreman from Mid-Atlantic for being such a great asset at Women Outdoors, and a huge thanks as well to everyone who was nominated for all you do for Women Outdoors. I think there's some photos next. Okay. So just a few shots that Donna picked out. I want to say as well, I'm very grateful for Donna Adams for coming on board as my co-gathering coordinator. And she was a really big help this year. This year was a tremendous amount of work because of the new location. And we got through it. So next shots. And we do have a photo link. If anybody wants to see more photos, just go to the website and on the main Gathering 2025 page, and there's a link for all our photos. And if you haven't uploaded yours yet, please do. Is that it? Oh, a group photo. Okay.
And what a wonderful event. Put it on your calendar right now. Next year's dates.
It's pretty much the
Friday.
same weekend. We didn't have on the slide, and I forgot to mention. We're doing one more day next year. It'll be an optional day from Sunday to Monday. And so if you didn't get enough in the 2 days, sign up for 3.
All right. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Lisa Voss and Lisa Gould for doing the workshops at the gathering. Amazing event. Great job, everybody.
So happy to pull it off under the excellent leadership, as always, of Sandy, with Donna just kicking it, killing it this year. So thank you so much to both of you organizers for that.
I want to mention, oh, sorry, just that Kathleen was also on the committee and helped with a lot of different tasks.
Yep.
Thank you, Kathleen Long. Thank you very much, Sandy. My apologies.
Yes. Okay, so on the Craftsberry thing, that's our next big upcoming, hugely popular and successful event. I think it was mentioned we had 45, was it, participants this year. If you're not familiar with it, it's an idyllic cross-country and snowshoeing venue sprawling across farmland and the woods of the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. So it's an annual weekend getaway, and it was started by actually our Western Mass region. I was on I'm chatting with Kim Weber of Western Mass today. Like when did this thing start? My emails about it went to back to 2014, I think it was. But Kim traces it back to members in Western Mass starting at probably around 2005. So we've got 20 years up in Craftsberry. And the Western Mass just deserves so much credit for starting this. And but as it grew, it got so popular. It became a little bit unwieldy the way they were doing it manually, with kind of like hand processing refunds to people who cancel. If you've ever done registrar stuff, you know how much is involved with that. So she asked the national organization to step in, and I think that was like when I got involved with it in 2014. And it's good to keep in mind that one of the regional contacts members, you start something, everybody loves it, it gets going, it might get a little bit hairy. This is what the national organization is so good at. We can uh, corral like the real movers and shakers who have the bandwidth for organizing. And the site allows us to handle the registration and the payment details. And so just keep that in mind. It's like a success starts really, really small and grows when you've got, all this woman power behind you. Anyway, it became so popular. We were kind of forced to start a drawing. If you've been going for a while, you're kind of familiar with how some people, they didn't get on the phone in time and get, but we've worked out a way to get, people to not, to be as fair as possible, which is kind of difficult. Craftsberry is a popular venue and we can't get the whole thing like we get the gathering. So anyway, by this year, 2025, we have grown a planning committee and an agenda. So just to give you an idea, we started 2025 event with Get to Know You games on Friday night. There was like acoustic chaos and fun, and we have people group themselves according to kind of what they want to do and what level they want to do it at. Do they want to take a lesson? Do they want to go crazy and ski all the way into the village? And that I think that's working out really well. And there's yoga, skiing, snowshoeing, skating on the lake if it's frozen. And the groups determine what trail they want and what level and what time to meet and where. And at this point we've got greeters to make sure that newbies make their way to the lodge, to their room, and that they aren't kind of stranded on their own. You know what it's like to go to an event for the first time, or maybe it's your first event with the organization, you don't know anybody. So we really strive to kind of like pull people in. And I think that's why these weekend events are so good at getting new members. I hope that we're making them really welcoming and kind of easy to slip into. At any rate, this year we had Jamie Tessler doing a moth style storytelling session. Amazing. So much fun. We had a musical jam session. You saw Steph Komorowski and Holly Bauer, you know, in a slide. We have games and cards, and Kim Weber led morning meditation. So it's not as like sprawling as a gathering with a diversity of stuff, but it's kind of more focused and intimate in a way, I think. Anyway, in closing, I just want to leave you with a few tips for the upcoming Craftsbury weekend, which is already scheduled. We've got the rooms. It's going to be February 27th to Monday, March 1st. And you can just find that under the special events on our website. And the tips I had, don't despair if you don't score a room at Craftsbury. That dread and horror and heartbreak doesn't have to exist because there are other lodgings in the area, and you can get an Airbnb room and join us. You can even kind of like try to get a meal plan at Craftsbury. I forget the details of how easy that is, but you can join us throughout the day if you aren't staying on the site. My second tip, sign up for a massage. They're so popular. It's a guy who gives a massage. He's legendary. Seriously, so good at it. So don't skip that. I think there's yoga given by somebody else, but you know, if you see things, sign up for them because the lessons are great, everything's great. And finally, please do be patient with the organizers. We're all volunteers and we do the best we can to help you register and have a great time, and we love doing it. So cut us some slack because it's gnarly to organize this stuff. Thank you for supporting it for all these years and coming. We look forward to doing it again in February. Back to you, Margaret.
I just put in the chat, I have a typo. It ends on Sunday, March 1st, not Monday.
Oh, sorry about that.
That was my fault.
Oh, okay,
Thank you, Lisa.
sure.
Very good. Thank you, Lisa. Diversity Committee. Lisa Gould.
Hi there. So glad to be able to join everybody here on this call. It was such a fabulous gathering that I was able to find about, well, it turned out we had 8 people who wanted to be part of this diversity committee this year. It was like a kind of an impromptu kind of thing. And I think that has something to do with the fact that there's so much erasure and just difficulty with DEI as a whole. And you know, and that fact that the outdoors are what people want to do, that we go to the outdoors, we absolutely thrive. And so, more people decided that they were going to join this year, and that is really fabulous. Actually, there were 5 different regions represented in in our committee. We had our first committee meeting with a big group like a week and a half ago, and we do normally meet on the first Sunday of the month. So everybody is welcome. Just to tell you a little bit about what we've done. This last year, we were able to find this person who, Siren Nagakawi, one of our committee members had identified them as someone who knows an awful lot about disability. And so they spoke to the group on a WOOF, and it was titled Disability is Natural, Ableism, Accessibility, and Belonging in the Outdoors. And my battery's going low. Sorry, I'm at somebody's house right now, and if I go quiet, you'll understand, hopefully. There we go. Let's see. That does it. Yay. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, so that WOOF is available for all members to get an idea of how one can approach the difficulties of being disabled in the outdoors. And so the thought is, you know, how can we take some of that learning and make it useful for women outdoors? And so the committee is going to be working on that aspect of it. But there was a lot of enthusiasm. I think something like 50 some people signed up for it. So, you know, and disability can be like chronic, or it can be like come and go. It can be something that progresses as you get older. So, you know, even somebody like me, you know, considers themselves invincible, might actually, you know, find this would be really valuable to be thinking about, like, how do we make this accessible? How can we make that being out in the outdoors something that everybody has you know, can do? Or how can I make my hike something that you know, is accessible in terms of income level, for example? That's another thing that can be can be a barrier of participation. So let's see. Anyway, so we also this last year we decided to add an A to the DEIA. So it's a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. And our mission is to ensure the sustainability of women outdoors by attracting and welcoming new women from diverse backgrounds, ages, abilities, and removing barriers of participation in the outdoors. So, and for that, you know, to further this, we have, there's a 30-minute workshop that we developed, and we're looking for ways to produce it. It's basically Lily O'Too's intro to DEI, basically. So anyway, so, you know, those are just two tools out of a toolbox, and just and how we can make you know, women outdoors welcoming to all women and women identified, all races, LGBTQIA identities, differing abilities, ages. You know, because, you know, we love women outdoors so much. You know, we wanted to make it accessible for everyone, if possible. So, at some level. Anyway, it's a new committee. We're still working on various you know, priorities. So there's so much to do, so much to choose from. I'm not going to limit it right now in terms of saying what we're going to be doing, but you know, I'm very excited about it, frankly. And yeah, I think I'll pass. That's it. If you have any questions, or if you want to be part of this, you know, leadership actually is a fundamental part of opening the doors for an event, you know. So I know that we'll be working on. Sorry, I am so nervous. Anyway, I'm just going to shake off this energy here. Anyway, so we you know, you want to be able to build being open and welcoming to all new people into the leadership role. I know as a hike leader, that's something that I think about now, and I want all of us to like share what works and what doesn't in terms of you know, being inclusive, you know. Some of the things that might come up that might be a barrier, maybe that we're not thinking about, you know. And actually, you know, I live in the area where I can plan hikes that are close to public transportation, you know, and that, you know, deals with the accessibility issue of economic level. So, you know, it's just things that are thoughtful that that people are probably doing already. We want to hear about it. So if you want to, or if there's something that, you know, you're a little upset about, you know, reach out to us. And I'm sure the board would like to also hear about it. But anyway, so, you know, so that we can then like meet whatever it is that is a barrier and that we're not thinking about yet, and try to address it. So, yeah, I'm going to pass now. Thank you so much for the time.
Lisa, I see the Zoom meeting day and time. Is that open to the membership or is that primarily just the committee?
No, that's open to the membership.
Okay.
Anybody can come and be part of that, and we welcome, you
Okay.
know. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Great presentation about DEIA. We're going to roll into the regional contacts now. We'll start with Bonna, Vermont, New Hampshire.
I'm not sure if Bonna's actually on the call,
All righty.
but these are some pictures from the Cardigan Lodge trip.
Another very well attended trip. Yes.
Oh, and I have some notes. I could read them for her.
Thanks,
There was-
Randy.
So it was the second year of the trip. There were 43 women. Last year there were 37. Many leaders stepped up to lead multiple great hikes, various lengths and difficulty on Saturday and Sunday. There was music, good food, new friends, old friends. 18 paddlers on Sunday on the Pemigewasset, never said this one out loud. The Pemigewasset River. Four participants had it.
Pemigewasset, yeah.
Pemigewasset. Yeah, and if anybody was there that was on the call, if you have anything you want to share from the event.
Kudos to Bonna. It was an amazing time. Kudos to all the kayakers. That was a windy day. We were getting blown around a lot, but it was a ton of fun, as always.
There's a picture of the music. There's some common musicians that are always they bring the music to all the events. It's so great.
I could also say that there were about 3 or 4 different hikes that Bonna and Deb helped to organize. So that was really awesome.
And there was
There's
a
one-
dog. There's a couple more photos. And there's the porch.
We'll pass it to Jennifer McKenzie, Connecticut Regional Contact.
Actually, I don't see her either.
So Jennifer has been working for a couple years to get Connecticut up and running, and I know she's offered a number of different events and gradually building up a membership in Connecticut, which is wonderful. I'm told Connecticut used to be one of the largest areas as far and the greatest number as far as membership. So if you're interested in helping out to create activities, walks, hikes, bike rides along the Metro North corridor, you can reach out to Jennifer McKenzie. She's got her email address there. And if you live along the Hartford side of the state and are interested in being a co-leader for that area, again, please reach out to Jennifer. She's got her email address there. Mid-Atlantic, Kathleen Long and Becky Foreman.
Hi, Kathleen here. Yeah, Becky and I are co-RCs for Mid-Atlantic, and Becky will get into this at the end of the meeting, but Becky organized and led the trip to South America, and I'll let Becky talk about that later, but the feedback from everyone I talked to was absolutely amazing. Becky was also the winner of this year's Jan Brown Award. We're very proud of Becky. We hit the Mid-Atlantic region, got 10 attendees at this year's gathering, so we were very happy about that. We're hoping we'll get a few more next year. We organize a camp out and an anniversary picnic every year, 2 of our very popular events, and we're all about continuing fun and friendship. So that's all I got. Becky, do you have anything?
Nope, I think that pretty much summarizes it. I'd just like to say thanks to Kathleen. She's been our regional coordinator since the beginning. She founded the region and keeps us all busy and active. So, but we have a lot of fun down here in Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah. And our schedule is on the website. So if you are traveling, if you live in another region and you're heading down to the greater DC area, check out womenOutdoors.org and go to the Mid-Atlantic page. We post all of our events on the website. So, we'd love to have you join us. Yay! There's our 10.
Right, Mid-Atlantic, showing us all the way. I love it. I love it. Finger Lakes, back to Sandy Zohari, please.
Okay, well, we just celebrated our 20th anniversary for our region. And thank you to Kathleen for the inspiration of having something when I saw her doing something for her 15th. It was like, oh, we're almost at 20. Anyway, it was a great time. This just happened yesterday. I've got a picture coming up. Let's see, we've got a bunch of new members who've started leading hikes in the Rochester area. We had a training session a couple of months back, and we just gotten a new volunteer for the Syracuse area to start leading. We dropped after COVID, we'd lost a number of our leaders there. So working on getting that back up again. We've had 33 events in the past 12 months. Highlights included a guided snowshoe hike, canal paddle, and potluck picnics in parks with both paddling and hiking. We continue to explore new places in our beautiful region, and we currently also have 2,095 members on Meetup, which unfortunately is not directly coming down to the joint, but we're working on it. So anywho, we got a few pictures coming up. This is from the 20th anniversary. I put together a display showing all of our activities for 20 years. That's me and Stacy. And if you want to get a closer look at it, I'll have it with me at the gathering next year. And I'm also going to encourage everybody all the regional contacts this year to bring back some kind of display showing off your region, and also one for the board. So more info about that later. And a couple of more photos. This was at Montezuma, which is an Audubon center. And this was one of Stacy's events at the Ithaca Waterfalls, in the frozen waterfalls in the winter, which was a lot of fun. So I think that's it for me. Yep.
I do have to say though, Sandy, you are great about converting Meetup members to Women Outdoors members. You keep track of how many events they've attended and encourage them after that third event with Women Outdoors to go ahead and become a member.
Yeah, we twist their arm.
So great job.
Oh,
Great job.
thanks.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Massachusetts. All right. Janet and Heather.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Good to see everyone on the call. I'm Heather Hersey, and I am the co-regional coordinator along with Janet Stotsky, who is also here. I want to thank Lisa Voss for her years of service as regional coordinator of Eastern Mass, and her continued support. So that's important. I want to thank all of our leaders for contributing to our 36 activities that we offered that included 290 participants over the past year. And that felt really good. And I think we saw a number of those newer participants come to other national events like the Cardigan Lodge. A lot of new Massachusetts members showed up, which, was interesting to see how, they come in maybe because of a leader, or, they just enjoy it. And then they see the event Cardigan, and, that may actually get them to join. So it's kind of like a synergy. And I'm feeling really positive about our region right now, that we seem to be hopefully will sustain our level of activity over the next year. I want to thank our leaders by name, because without our leaders, we would not be offering the activities that we're offering. Lisa Voss, Jamie Tesler, Sandy Green, Janet Stotsky, Lisa Gould, Donna Adams, Kay Schmidt, Lori Langelo, Lori Proul, Cynthia Devereaux, and Marcia Ciro. and Heather Hersey. But it's just really been a great group, you know, reaching out to each other to co-lead. And we just really hope in the year to come that we'll continue to build and grow. Janet, please jump in whenever, if you want to at all. You know, that we'll build and grow and hopefully continue to attract new members. And we, in addition to the like hiking and biking and whatever, I think, and actually it's largely been Lisa Voss and Lisa Gould, but there've been some creative, more cultural events. Lisa Voss just recently started game night. You know, they've done things on the Esplanade with different plays coming, and I know a member is going to lead with me, and this is her idea, a silent or partially silent hike in a couple of weeks. So it's really neat to see the different things, because Women Outdoors, I mean, you know, I kind of like the idea of the breadth of activity that we do. I think that's it. Oh, I know what I wanted to say was to leaders who haven't led for a year or two and have not been active for a variety of reasons that people have in their lives. I want to encourage you, if you're interested, if you have the time, the energy, and the desire to, you know, approach Janet or myself and, you know, get back into the, you know, leading thing if you want to do that. So I want to thank everybody. Really fun to see everybody tonight. And I think that's it. Oh, participation in national events.
Oh,
Yes.
Donna might have put this up here.
Yeah. Donna, do you want to speak to this, or?
I don't know if she's on.
Okay. So we did, I mean, and this is what I'm seeing through, I think, I mean, and it's, you know, it's a combination of things, but we did have a good number of people coming to the gathering, to the cardigan event. I don't know about the cross-country skiing as much. We had 16 members who were selected to go to the lottery. Lisa Voss helped organize. Jamie Tesla did her moth thing, which is great. And it was, you know, so I mean, I feel, so we're active. I feel like it's, you know, we're kind of in the middle of Women Outdoors, and that's I think that's a good place to be. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Western Mass, 2C.
Hi, Liz Roti. Sorry, Liz Roti and I are the co-RCs. So Liz, do you want to start us off?
No, go ahead, Tusi.
Okay, well, we've got our total membership, as you saw earlier, is about 137. This past summer, we had 30 events and 15 different women-led activities, outdoor and indoor, including potlucks, game nights, and book group. And today we had the a tea and scones in the garden planning meeting for the fall calendar, and that was pretty successful. So we got the calendar started. And then I send out an email and people respond with other activities. Do you want to continue, Liz?
Sure. This year we had an annual picnic at a local park. We had about 35 women. The biggest thing, kudos to Tusi. Bike for Food is a local fundraiser here in Western Mass, and we ride as the Western Mass team. Tusi has organized us for the past 12 years. This year we raised $6,400, and I gotta believe we've raised well over $20,000 or $25,000 in the past 12 years. It's just amazing, and thank you, Tusi. That's awesome, really. And this year we had, actually last year, right? Was it last year, Tusi? One of our members designed, I'll show you my Women Outdoors t-shirt, if you can see it. And with
wearing mine too.
And show the back. There's a design on the back.
Oh
too.
yeah,
You
we've
just
got
did
some,
a
I don't know.
great job.
I don't know if you guys
And
can see.
this is our second year, and we sell them. I think it's very reasonable. I think $10 or something like that. But anyway, that's been a lot of fun. Those are our highlights. Can you think of anything else, Tusi?
No, we got the t-shirts basically for last year for the Bike for Food, so we could, and we have a beautiful picture, which I think is next on the slides,
Good.
of our last year's Bike for Food with everybody in their t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we originally got them, and then Sarah said, well, why don't we just make them available to other members? So she took orders, and it's worked out really well. And we had different colors this year too. So that's about all I can think of right now.
Great job, Tusi and Liz. Thank you. Central Massachusetts, Southeastern Massachusetts, Rhode Island. Is Sandy Green on the call?
I don't see her.
All righty. So Sandy has been very nice about working both as a coordinator of regional contacts, which she just started doing again. She's resuming this role from a year or two ago when she started that. And she's also working to build up the Central Mass, Southeastern Mass, Rhode Island area. So 4 paddling trips with a total of 24 participants since June. They've got upcoming biking, hiking, and more paddling trips. So she explains there about some name changes coming up and meetup as well as Wild Apricot, but very exciting what she's undertaking there. We appreciate all Sandy Green's efforts. Thank you. Thank you. There's a slide if people are interested in contacting their regional contact. You can click that link and that will be the link right to their email so that you can address them.
We need to have one for Sandy too, do you think? For the
Yeah,
Central
I don't know
Mass?
if there is one for that region, but yeah, we have to add that.
Okay. Thanks.
Great suggestion, Tusi.
Because
Thanks.
we've had a couple of people join Western Mass who live in Central Mass, so it'd be nice to refer them to her.
Yeah, great idea. All right. Any questions or comments? So it's been a very busy year, and one of the highlights of the year was the South America trip that Becky Foreman worked so hard on planning. And we're going to move into that presentation right now, which I'm very excited to see.
Okay, so
wait,
again, I'm Becky Foreman.
Oh, wait, can we
Yeah.
open up for questions, just one real quick?
Yeah, I would like to say something.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure.
I was just wondering if we're going to have a WOOF program this winter. If plans are in the works for any WOOF presentations.
Yes, that is the plan. Yep. If you have an idea, we'd love to know. Yep.
Okay.
Thanks. Great question.
I just want to say a big welcome to Michelle and Elena to the board, and where our Western Mass chapter is very proud of them for joining up. They're very exciting.
And
And it's
Mid-Atlantic too. We claim
Yeah,
Elena.
yes, raised. And it's very nice to see everybody tonight.
Agreed. Thank you both.
Are there any other questions before I talk about our South America trip? Okay, so again, I'm Becky Foreman. I'm with the Mid-Atlantic region. And a number of us were lucky enough to travel to South America just this past summer. It's the second time that Women Outdoors has sponsored a trip to South America. In 2023, 3 of us went to Machu Picchu. We had originally planned it in like 2021, and of course COVID was happening, so it got postponed and then postponed again. And we finally went in 2023, but we didn't have a very big group because people were still a little wary of traveling then. So several people had asked me, to offer something like that again. So I did. I work with a travel agency known as Adios Adventures. A friend of mine from way back in high school happens to be a co-lead or co-owner of that company. And they work with guides and primarily offer trips in Peru, Patagonia, Costa Rica, Ecuador. And I have that information if anybody, would like to take a trip down there. It's an excellent agency to work with. So just reach out to me, email or whatever, and I can give you contact information for her. And there'll be pictures of her as well in some of these. So what I've done, we have thousands of pictures that all of us took on these trips. And we had Google albums that we could all put upload our pictures to and then share them among each other. And if you're a newer member or you didn't know anything about this trip, you can actually go to the Women Outdoors website and click on the South America trip 2025 and see all the details of the trip. And I have the links to the Google photo albums there. So if you wanted to look at more of our pictures after tonight, you can. Let me also say that what I've done is take some of those pictures and Nan and I put them into little videos with some music. And there are 5 of them. They're 2 to 5 minutes long. So they're pretty short, kind of a summary of the trip. And then the last one is the longest at 8 minutes long. And that one was created by one of our tour guides. So these are the same trips. If you were not the same trips, but the same videos. So if you were at the gathering and saw our presentation, you will see some of the same videos. But the difference tonight is that we have, I think, I was trying to kind of count, and it was hard to see everybody, but I think we have at least half of our travelers are on the call. So at any point, they might be able to share some of their stories or answer some of your questions and things. So please, if you're on the call and you took the trip, please, pitch in. So what I'm going to do is talk about each trip. There were 3 trips, kind of 3 trips in one. So you could sign up for any of the 3 segments, or you could sign up for all 3 of the segments or 2 of the 3 segments. So the first group went to Machu Picchu in Peru. I think they were gone about a total of 4 or 5 days with travel days on each end. And we had four of our members went to Machu Picchu. And then of the group that went to Machu Picchu, 2 of them only did Machu Picchu and flew back to the States afterwards. And then 2 of them traveled to Ecuador, where the rest of us met up with them in Quito. So altogether, there were 15 people who traveled. 4 went to Machu Picchu, 13 went to the Galapagos. And then of the 13, 2 of them opted to stay longer in the Galapagos and do some exploring on their own. That was pre-planned, and Adios Adventures kind of helped them and gave them some guidance to plan those 4 days. And then 11 of the 13 that were in Galapagos came back to Quito and then traveled out to the Amazon and did a river cruise on a boat called the Manatee, which you'll see in the last videos. So of the 15 travelers, 9 of them were from Mid-Atlantic region, 5 from the Finger Lakes region, and 1 from Western Mass. So 3 regions were represented on this trip. So that's a little bit of a summary. The first video you're going to see is of Machu Picchu. It's just over 2 minutes long. And it's just kind of a highlight, get a feel for their trip. So here we go. And then we'll answer questions. So Adios Adventure Travel, they meet you at the airport when you land in country. And from then on, you are with them the entire time. They provide all the shuttles, all the transportation. They get the tickets in advance and make sure you have what you need. When you're getting ready to go out on an excursion, they let you know what you need to bring for that excursion, be it snacks, water, what type of clothing and shoes and that kind of thing to wear. And their guides all speak English very well, so there's no trouble understanding what's happening, what's going on, or when they're sharing the history and the culture and that kind of thing with us. So before we go to the Galapagos, is there any questions about the Machu Picchu? And then at the end, we'll kind of open it up for more questions for those that want to stay on longer. So any questions about just the Machu Picchu? And also, if somebody would kind of keep an eye on the chat, just in case somebody asks a question there that I might miss, just let me know. Okay, so here we're going to the Galapagos. And again, this is just kind of an overview of the trip. We went to, we snorkeled, we did a service project at a coffee farm. You'll see that where we're picking beans and also pulling some of the weeds around the coffee plants. We visited a tortoise preserve. We did lots of we went out, we snorkeled almost every day. And in the next video, you'll see them in this video, some birds called blue-footed boobies, and you'll know why when you see them. And then the video after this is a real fun one that I'll tell you more about the blue-footed boobies before that one. So here's the overview of Galapagos.
Cielo estrellado, bailamos sin fin. Tus brazos son el refugio donde quiero vivir. La bachata vive en nuestro caminar. Bajo el cielo de la bachata te quiero amar. Tus labios susurran versos de pasión. Tu amor es mi música, mi mayor canción. El bajo acompaña cada giro y paso. Bajo el cielo de la bachata nunca fracaso. Bajo este cielo el tiempo se detiene, tu amor es eterno, mi corazón lo sostiene. Bajo el cielo de la bachata tú y yo, un amor sincero, puro con el sol. La música vibra con nuestra conexión. Bajo el cielo de la bachata somos pasión. Refleja nuestro amor. En tus ojos encuentro todo mi ardor. La guitarra vibra con cada emoción. Bajo el cielo de la bachata, mi devoción. Cielo donde quiero volar. Bajo estas estrellas contigo quiero estar. El bajo profundo marca nuestro calor. Bajo el cielo de la bachata, eterno fervor. Bajo estas estrellas siempre te amaré. Tu amor bachata somos pasión. Cuando las estrellas caigan y el cielo se apague, bajo el cielo de la bachata mi amor nunca falle. El cielo estrellado bailamos sin fin. Tus brazos son el refugio donde quiero vivir. La bachata vive en nuestro caminar. Bajo el cielo de la bachata te quiero amar.
So I forgot to mention in the lead up to that, that one of the meals that we did, we went to a fisherman's home, and the fisherman and his family prepared a fish meal, a ceviche, with fish that they had caught either that day or the day before. And he also told us, kind of described for us what it was like. It was him and two of his family members, his son and I believe his brother, would go out for several days in just an open flat bottom boat with a motor, go out to sea for 3, 4, 5 days, open to the sky, no protection except maybe a tarp. And they fished with a rod and line because nets are outlawed in the Galapagos. So all of their fishing was with rod and reel. And they brought back hundreds of pounds of fish. And I don't remember, maybe someone else does, what the fish were, but regardless of, and then at night, they would just lay down in the bottom of their boat to go to sleep and get some rest and then get back up the next day and do it again. So just amazing that they catch that many hundreds of pounds of fish with a rod and reel and several days out in an open flat bottom boat. Does anybody that was on the trip have any stories or any comments that you want to add about the Galapagos trip, or questions that anybody else has?
All right.
I heard something, but I'm not sure it was a question. Okay, so the next one is also the Galapagos. And
Becky?
yes.
Becky, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say that one of the things that I loved so much about the trip was that we engaged in just a lot of the kind of local activities, and we met and got to interact with local people and go to just sort of local sites, and it didn't feel overly touristy.
I'd appreciate if everyone spoke.
Yeah, we were experiencing definitely the local culture and met so many of the local families and people, and our guides, you know, they all lived right there. So thanks, Tracy, for contributing that. Tracy and Cindy, by the way, were on the trip. They're from Mid-Atlantic. So yeah, anybody else that was on the trip want to add anything? The tortoise preserve we visited, those tortoises are, you know, hundreds of years old, and they're huge. There were a couple pictures in there of Jackie, the owner of the company. It was too quick for me to like point her out, and at one point it looks like she's touching a tortoise, but that is illegal. So she's only pretending to be, yeah, so she's only pretending to be touching that tortoise. She was not. She might be in jail today if she were. So the next one is the blue-footed boobies, and it's a dance, and it's a mating dance. So these birds are born with very blue feet, and the bluer the better. And so the males are going to be, you want to pause that? Yeah. The male is going to be trying to attract a female with a dance that they do and saying, look at my feet, aren't they pretty and blue? and the female will either agree and they will court and mate, or she will walk away. And you will see that actually. So Nan took a lot of the pictures and some video that we had from the blue-footed boobies and made this fun little video. And know that this is out on an island. And underneath we had snorkeled through these lava tunnels and then came back to the boat and ate lunch and then did a walk up on top of the lava tunnels. And these boobies, you're going to see that we appear to be very close to them, and we were, but you cannot harass or bother them. These birds flew in and basically landed at our feet and put on a show. And that's what we were able to videotape. So only 4 boats a day, 8 boats a day, 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, get to go out to this lava tunnel. They limit the number of tourists that can go out there so that the wildlife can do its thing and not be bothered and harassed. And the guides have to be very aware of what everybody's doing, because they can lose their permit to take people out to this island if they allow people to litter. And it was very clean. Even when we were snorkeling, there was not a piece of litter under the water or above the water. So here's the dance. It's a lot of fun. As they get older, their blue fades and goes green. That's what's going to be happening with this particular male. See his green feet there? So he's older. She's not interested. She's walking away, and he's following her and trying to get her attention again.
Little kissy face, little kissy face.
She's like, oh. Sorry, I love the one you're with. I think you can stop that one there because we've already listed the people that attended. All right, so any questions on the Galapagos before we go on to the Amazon River and our cruise out there? or anybody that was on the trip want to contribute anything else? Okay, so from the Galapagos, like I said, 2 people opted to stay out there on their own and go to another island and did more snorkeling. 11 of us then traveled back to Quito for kind of a transition day, did some laundry, and then we flew into the interior land of the Ecuador to take a cruise on a boat called the Manatee. And we were fortunate enough, there were only, this boat holds 30 customers or tourists, but we were 11, and when we got there were 2 women who kind of joined our group and fit right in. So they were there. We were on the boat 3 nights, and they were with us the first 2 nights, but they'd already been on the boat for like a week, and then they left, and it was just us and the crew on the boat for the last night. And then each day we took excursions out from the boat and did jungle walks and went bird watching. You'll see monkeys and pink dolphins, which are very rare and only found in the Galapagos. So yeah, so that's what you're going to see here. And this first one especially features more the manatee and the boat itself. And then the second and last video will be some of our jungle walks and some of the things that we saw when we were on the excursions. So here we go to meet the manatee, the boat.
Right. As you know, we are in the Ecuadorian country, right over here, on the eastern part, western part of North of South America, right? A small country. We do have these 4 natural regions, right? All of them kind of like a different world. We have the Amazon, we have the Andes, we have the coast, and we have the Galapagos Island, which is located right over here. Okay, we are found in this place, my friend. This is the Coca Town. Yeah.
This is the motorized canoe that we took from Coca Town out to the Manatee. And it took, I think it was about an hour and a half, and it rained almost the entire trip. Might have even been a 2-hour trip. The guy who was speaking was our main guide on this portion of the trip. That's the Manatee.
Is the only person that is in charge about of the safety of the people on board of the ship. Yeah. So this is he is the person that who is going to let us know how to proceed, what to do after gathering in the area. So on board of the ship, we don't have our lifeboat is gonna be our canoe.
That's what the rooms look like. We were 2 to a room. Nice bathroom.
These memories will stay with me.
Okay, and then we can just go right into the next one, Randy. And this is the one that was put together by the crew of the ship. And then each of us got a copy of it, or a link to get to a copy of it. Night hike. A lot of the wildlife that we were lucky enough to see.
Niña Chay, ¿por qué me mentías? Si este amor era mi vida, si tu amor me pertenecía. Niña Chay, dejaste mi alma herida. Niña Chay, por tus mentiras.
We were on a night hike. It was pitch dark, so if it hadn't been for our guides, flashlights, taking these pictures, we would never have seen all those animals.
Si este amor era mi vida, si tu amor me pertenecía. Niña Chay, tú sabes cuánto te quiero. Niña Chay, cuánto te amo. Niña Chay, tú sabes que soy tu dueño. Niña Chay, vuelve. Si tu amor me pertenecía. Niña Chay, tú sabes cuánto te quiero. Niña Chay, cuánto te amo. Niña Chay, tú sabes que soy tu dueño. Niña Chay, vuelve.
Piranhas we went fishing with. We also had the option to swim with them, but no one did.
Cuánto te amo, Niña Chay, tú sabes que soy tu dueño. Niña Chay, vuelve.
It rained every single day that we were in the Amazon. That's one tree we're standing in front of. each of us trying a blow dart, which is way the natives that live along the Amazon used to hunt. One person hit the target.
En este día tan especial,
Target was
tu
basically
cumpleaños, vidita mía, yo tan
that's Margaret, and she
lejos
did hit the target. There's that little green coconut, whatever it is, right about 20, 25 feet away. Village, which is where we did the blow darts, and they gave
un abrazo fuerte, el más dulce beso, el deseo inmenso que seas feliz. Es tu cumpleaños, vidita mía, yo tan lejos de ti.
I'm watching a documentary about it.
Yo tan lejos de ti. Siento el espacio vacío que tú dejas lastimando mi alma y al alejarte.
So that's it for the videos. Does anybody have any questions, or anybody that was on the trip have anything they want to share, stories or anything that I forgot? I will say that in each segment of the trip, there was a visit to a local family. So the Machu Picchu group went to a family or a place where they demonstrated the dyeing using natural materials, dyeing the thread and weaving. And then in Galapagos, of course, we went to the coffee farm and did the service project. And then that family prepared a meal for us after we spent a little over an hour picking coffee beans in the rain. And then on the Amazon, and I don't really have pictures of this, I need to do another video, that's just it. We visited this Amazon village, and besides the blow dart, they demonstrated the way that they used to cook and build their homes and everything. And they still live in these villages along the river. So it was really interesting. And we got to try some interesting foods. You saw that one, I forget what it's called, but that little worm. They actually toast those, and we got to try them. They weren't bad, actually. And you didn't have to try them, but they passed them around if you wanted to. And it was actually not bad. Kind of like eating a potato chip.
No.
And somebody had started to say something or ask a question or share.
Your cat.
I just want to say that despite the fact that it rained, as you mentioned, every day while we were in the Amazon, there was only one activity that didn't work out, and that was when we were waiting for the parakeets to come down to
Right.
the salt licks. But everything else, I mean, the ship provided ponchos, they provided knee-high rubber boots, so we did it all.
Yep. Anybody else? Yes, Neva, you do have to expect rain in the jungle, that's for sure. We had the hot tub up on top, and some of us took advantage of that one evening underneath the stars. That was really nice.
Becky, I want to say too that, during the whole trip, even though like I experienced horrible motion sickness at one point and, had some problems with legs and feet swelling and things like that. My fellow travelers were just wonderfully sympathetic and caring, and between them and the staff on the Manatee and our guides, I mean, everybody was just amazing about making sure everybody had what they needed and felt safe and was having a great time. It was a fantastic trip.
Yeah, and the guides, they were on it. If for some reason there wasn't hot water in the hotel and we let them know, they tried to figure out why. As she mentioned, we had a couple people that had trouble with motion sickness, and we had this long, bumpy, wavy boat trip out to one of the islands, and they were able to get flights. The guides helped them get flights back to the island, so that, of course, they had to pay extra for that, but they were ready to pay it, so that they didn't have to do that long boat trip throwing up all the way. So
Now,
yeah, the
in
guides.
fairness, Becky,
Mhm.
that was because both of them had said they were going to live on the island and not go back otherwise.
I could live on that island.
Yeah, really.
This is
Anybody
Chris.
else?
Yeah, my name's Christy. I'm from New York, and I was just curious. I really enjoyed the show, by the way. Thank you.
You're
I was
welcome.
just curious whether it was people's like, have they been to these countries before? Was it some people's first time traveling? Were people seasoned travelers?
I think we had a mix. Nan and I had both traveled to Peru. I've been down there a couple times. We neither one had been to Ecuador, but we had traveled with Adios Adventures to other places like Costa Rica. But for many people, this was their first trip to South America. But I think we have some that were seasoned travelers too. So it was a mix. I know we had some people. Andy, are you on the call, and do you want to speak to that at all? I think Andy was on a while ago. I know Andy said that she was concerned about making a trip like this, and she felt very comfortable traveling with Women Outdoors and with our guides, and very safe and secure the whole time. So she had written something like that afterwards. So, and I thought I had seen her on the call earlier. Anybody else want to speak to that was on the trip? A couple people that were on the trip had traveled before, because Margaret and Chris traveled with me in 2023 down to Machu Picchu. So, so a couple of them had been down in that part of the world before. And I think Ariel, I'm not sure she's on the call, but Ariel, I believe, had traveled down to South America, but she didn't go to Machu Picchu this time because I think she'd already been there. But she hadn't been to Ecuador, Galapagos, and the Amazon.
Yeah, it was a great trip. Cannot say enough to Becky and Amazon or Adios Adventures for what a great job they did. Yeah, very well done. Very well done.
Sounds like a really, really wonderful trip. I'm wondering if you were going to do it again. Now, this would be your third or fourth time, right, Becky?
No plans at this point. I've gotten an RV and kind of in RV travel domestic mood. I have something I'm thinking about. It would be very different and actually to a different part of the world, but not ready to say it and not ready to commit to it by any means.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I missed it, but at the same time, I couldn't afford it at the time, and I'm not sure I'll be able to afford it next time. But I so much appreciate you sharing all this, because it's a beautiful thing that to see all these slides and to sort of at least enjoy it virtually, if you know what I mean.
Good, glad you did. And like I said, you can go to the Women Outdoors webpage, click on those Google photo albums, and see many, many more pictures of all three of the trips.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to hop off. Good night, everybody.
Okay. Good night. I'll turn it back over to Margaret and Randy.
Well, thank you, Becky, for a fantastic presentation. Appreciate Becky and Nan taking so many great videos and pictures, and lots of people on the trip contributed pictures to the albums that you'll see the link for at the Women Outdoors website. So thank you all. Everybody was a great traveler. And it's a lot of fun seeing the videos and kind of be reminding of what we got to see up close. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Cannot recommend it enough. And Neva, I've certainly been in the spot you're in there, you know, couldn't afford it right then, but your turn will come. I bet your turn will come.
Me as well.
It was a great annual meeting. Thank you all for joining us. Lots of great news from Women Outdoors. We appreciate everybody's contribution. And we look forward to seeing you, as Sandy Zohari says, in the outdoors. Be well and take care. Thanks for participating.
Everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.